Oh, welcome to a. I am Frater SH, and this is Gregory Beck. Hi, folks, how's it going? A special commentary on the new Frater versus Retro, the motion picture 2, the final Frater. So, Gregory, we finally had the movie came out. We're probably the only viewers of it. Very special in our heart. It is special in our heart. I honestly don't care if people watch the stuff or not. I don't know. There's just a way to go about and do this. Okay, so we're hitting play now, and we'll start getting going. So I see you used a fair use copyright disclaimer on your movie. I did with the last one. Yeah, just to I don't know. I just see a little legality is sometimes good to have in the beginning, and just sort of creates something looks official. And now you got the Saderingrad Productions, yeah. Picture. I like the little picture there. It kind of almost looks like a Paramount or something. Yeah, yeah. I opted to do that, and it just makes it look more professional. So, how are you going to do this? Are you going to have like the movie in the background? And well, since our movies don't really move much, it's all still pictures and it's just a slideshow. Yeah, so if you had it muted, um, it would be just kind of weird. So it would be just better that if a person, well, someday if somebody really wanted to get into this, that they could have the movie in the background. Well, if we have the commentary, so really, if you think about it, since really anyone's gonna really watch it, we could really say anything we want. Exactly. So again, this movie was the desire to put an end to the whole project on VidMe because I really don't. I always I look. I recently did a marathon on Facebook broadcasting. Ah, the intro. Yeah, see, after I put out a preview, I put out a preview recently, which was actually for an attempt to create a whole new show to the new Frater versus Retro. But I just made the decision, nah, that I'll just do a movie. Originally, the idea of the movie, it was this screen you're seeing right here. This would be the whole movie. Oh, you're not gonna have like gosh, pictures or anything. No, no, because at the time I was working. So I do like the idea, of a main character going rogue and going missing, which I did like from the Last Jedi. The problem is with Last Jedi they took it too far. I mean, like I think they should have had Luke Skywalker at some point go to Ray. All right, I had change of heart, and I'll go with you to take on Snoke. That's Fraser, there's something missing there. So let's take a look at that footage of NHL '95. I didn't. I I hadn't done this in so long. We hadn't done this in so long that that basically that that I really didn't think about this right, how to go about that. And I also recently I had problems with OBS and my Genesis emulator, my Sega emulator, because Which is weird because I do actually have NHL '95 footage on my channel because for a while I went with a gimmick of just having a short clip, maybe 5-10 minute clip of retro video game footage of just a little quick playthrough, just to sort of like almost like little preview clips. It was just something to give the channel because I was sort of like at the time. So here I am. I'm back into the. And of course, one of the things you'll notice in all movies, there's always a story that a part of the movie that is a throwback, a retro throwback to something that had occurred in an older movie. Like in the case of New Hope, they always do the whole desert thing. They always seem to do that. They always do some kind of throwback, something that Han Solo said, and it's just the way they do things. And it's other movies too. Other movies do that too, and um, yeah, I understand. It's part of the movie making process. It's not a popular thing. I mean, people originally were like, well, if I wanted to go see New Hope, I watch New Hope. Well, I want to see a new movie. I don't want to see references and stuff. But a lot of times, it's an important part of the universe. Frater, where did you get the idea for the how the people are in this world? Like, well, see what it is that initially in the story, look, I'll admit to you about this movie. This movie really, you know what? I Here's my opinion. I think most sequels mess everything up. Especially Highlander. That's a good one. Yeah, and in a way, that's well, maybe not intentionally, but the point is that with most sequels try, like in the case of Highlander was one amazing movie that had a great beginning and a great end. And when a movie sometimes has too good of an ending, there's nothing left for the next movie. Now, in some cases, it's unplanned. Like in the case of I remember when they did the Green Lantern movie, which is generally considered a dull movie, very dull movie. Although I don't know if I consider it that bad, but it just that movie never took off. But basically, what happened was, it actually has an ending that is supposed to be a segue to the next movie with the idea that the one Green Lantern went rogue and he's now going to turn into a villain, which is Sinestro. But the point is, get back to it, Gregory. This is a bigger conversation here, but it basically is about the whole. What was it we were talking about? Yeah, about um, oh yeah, the people talking backwards and stuff. Yeah, I was working at a call center for about 2.5 months. Again, I have the greatest resume on earth. Yeah, you just say I'm not gonna put up with this. Other people are like, well, this is it. This is life. I got responsibilities. You don't got any responsibilities, so you can kind of fade in and out, and shit. But yeah, so what happened was, is I thought about it. I said to myself, what it is that these that everybody in that universe in this movie you're watching, I'm afraid the screen just went black. I know. I hate. I'm using a new software called VSDC, and I originally said there has to be somebody out there, some third party that made something that is like Windows Movie Maker, but it's free. Because I'm sorry to say, folks, I made all that Frater content. You think I'm going to spend money on this? You're going to spend money. It's all slideshows. It's all slideshows with voice acting, guys. Guys, I use Audacity, and that's free. So you think I'm going to get Final Cut Pro for slideshows? No. But like I was saying, is what it is basically everybody in the new movie is an NPC. They're basically part of a computer matrix. And initially, I'm going to be honest with you in a lot of ways. Like, after doing a marathon, I did like an 18-hour marathon of the first movie playing over on Facebook. And I was starting to go, oh, maybe I really really messed this up because in the first movie I got it right. I because well, what it is, you got Dark Milo who has created he's done something, creating a dimensional rift, and he's got now a second dimension he lives in. But he's taken us with a time breach weapon. He's taken us and he's shoved us into some kind of limbo, but then all of a sudden, Billy and Glenn decide they find their show on YouTube. Of course, there wasn't much left. Frater, you kept deleting episodes. I know, it's because I started to get involved with the more of the Christian community of YouTube at the time, and I felt guilty. I felt like this stuff was way too raunchy, and it is. Those old episodes are way too raunchy, man. They're just too much cursing and swearing and very filthy language. Like, it's really upsetting to me. It's hard for me to even go to the back to those old episodes. When I'm doing the original Frater, it's got a touch of that, but it's not like that. It's not. It's more like I just have a good time with it. And where the old episodes, it was like, ooh, it was just so brutal. Some of it's still funny. It wasn't like it wasn't funny, but it was just too much. But again, back about the NPCs. So what it is in video games, there's the main NPCs, your essential NPCs, but then you have unessentials, and unessentials always either have one line of speech, just so that when the player goes up to them, they at least say something. They don't have a story, they don't have anything. But in the case of this world, it goes a lot further in that. It's almost like more like a bad video game where they don't say anything, but they just talk backwards, and it's because they're just NPCs. Gregory Peck. They're bringing up the idea. Well, why doesn't Pook Uppy Adams stay with us then? And it's yeah, it's not a good idea. Yeah, he'll he pour concrete all over your house, and and I said that would be an improvement. But yeah, so Frater, I this is just the beginning here, getting the characters all settled to go on a quest, and so let's talk about the original Frater, Frater versus Retro. The original Frater versus Retro is a movie that is a TV show that is entirely in the year of 2011. And I even got picked up recently some of the games that came out during that year, like Dead Island and Final Fantasy 13 2. For some people weren't too happy with that game. I need to play it. I need to play for myself, and I played Final Fantasy 10, so I think I understand what a relatively recent for Final Fantasy would be like. Of course, now that game's like what? How many years? Like over 20 years old or something like that. So so basically what it is so far what I've recorded has been absolutely great. I only have one more like storyline to do in Left 4 Dead, and that's finished. Wow, you never finished that. Yeah, I know. And it's a good way to have all the characters in one room. I've also I've written a list of all the main games. Now you need to understand. Was there anything that you just can't do? That you can't have on the show? Technically, yes. Most games, there are a lot of games that never made the backwards compatibility with the Xbox Series X. I should really say the Xbox consoles, because the reality is that you know Xbox these games are on the Xbox One X, Xbox One too, but so like for example, they came out with a really bad version of Thor. So really, I think when I'm coming to the decision of like Gregory Peck, um, maybe not to have this be. I don't really. You're changing your mind about having a full commentary of a 4 hour movie. Yeah, just trying to, you know, talk over this, have the time to keep doing parts for this. It would be almost like doing the movie. So what I'll do instead is just, we get off everything off her chest. We did a little commentary of the beginning part of the movie and stuff. Um, you know, yeah, you don't really need to have something really long. Yeah, this is something that release after the movie. Then there's not like a gap between the time of. Your voice sounds a bit tired. Was your something you were working recently? Well, the other day I did. Well, this will show everyone when I recorded everything. But I did a Frater SH night show, and it had a story on UFOs and Area 51, all that kind of stuff. And then I did a. I did a new series. I started doing the Esoteric Monastery with about the first one is an entire book of Augustine called Catalog. Wow, that's some deep stuff, Frater. I mean, you're really into that stuff. I even noticed recently you're having Billy start to get into it. You're it's really hilarious. Like, yeah, it's unexplainable. Well, basically, what it is in the first movie. Movie, Billy just says his name. Then all of a sudden, he starts becoming more intelligent and more intelligent. And what I'm thinking is, he's going to be the protege of Frater's age. That from this movie, he's essentially, even though Farfinger is being trained as well, but what Farfinger doesn't know is that what Farfinger doesn't know is that Billy has been given some kind of extra training from Frater on esoteric matters, on philosophical esoteric matters. So, and then I did that same day, which is really why I have a sore throat, is because I also did question one of the Summa Theologica of St. Thomas Aquinas, Primus Parts 1. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of content. It doesn't even touch most of the content that's in here. I mean, this thing looks like a telephone book. It, it contains all the content of all those books in one massive monster book, and it was very exhausting. But I just had a lot of ambition. I finished two 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 massive videos of Left 4 Dead. I got one more to do tonight, and then that way I could start to go on to Final Fantasy next. And I'm doing this commentary right now. That's more work. It's like I said, I'm pretty much self-employed right now, and so yeah, the book selling's good, and yeah, book selling's good. I get interest every week on cryptocurrency through Celsius. Originally, I had two investments. One was Bitcoin, and I had Ethereum based cryptos, and I did really well. And it's really rare because you usually just kind of just are on the bottom. You don't you have lots of projects, but you just don't seem to really profit from it. I know. Just but it was and I will flat out say it. Crypto right now is in a bear market. So if someone wanted to get into this, I mean, you're not going to be able to buy Bitcoin at $10,000 anymore. That's not happening, buddy. But as far as I'm concerned, the one to probably buy, you know, our you would just is it's super cheap and wouldn't really break the bank would be just to get Shiba Inu and because the thing is like like right now Shiba Inu Gregory Peck is like at the time of this recording is 0.0000022. I mean, $20. If someone bought 20, or how much could $20 get you? Well, let's take a look at that. Let me get this thing loaded up. It is it'll get you about 819,000 and 6666 or 302. I mean, it dropped more. Or how has still a lot of money. It is. It's just a. And the Coinbase app just crashed. But yeah, this thing was meant to be a commentary on the movie, but voice isn't really feeling up to it. Right now, like I'm just like saying, okay, let's say you want to buy a million ship. How much would that be? So that would be $24.12. And somebody can get in, and then basically, if it went to a penny, you probably would get like $10,000. Think about it, your investment started at $24, but of course the question is, would it ever get to a penny? And that's of course that's the golden question, and that's why I wouldn't say, as far as your cryptos, I wouldn't ever go with something like that as your main crypto. I would go with a stable coin, put in a Celsius, and then let the interest pay out each week, and then you would have passive income. Or actually, you really kind of, I really, really, really watched every video for years. And I'm kind of slow with stuff like that. Like, I need to just keep watching somebody, and somebody keeps, they keep bringing stuff up time and time and time again. That's the way it is, and it rubbed off on me, and I just kind of went with it. That's not say I haven't lost money. I've lost thousands. Oh, jeez. Yeah, but it's like I may have lost thousands. I've gained a massive profit, and I don't really ever plan to go back to work. And I'm just going to do these projects and try to kind of work on trying to get this channel up and running, and I do doing these audiobooks too. I have a couple Bible books I've done already, and then I got St. Thomas Aquinas section in the playlist now, and I got um, Aristotle. Got Aristotle now. So yeah. So how about Farfinger Gaming? Are you getting into that yet? Are you recording anything? I have ideas. I don't know, Gregory Peck. I'm really into the original Frater. With, I don't know, Frater. I know you're making fun of the your bad voices passing on to me. Uh, yeah, you're really into those new Star Wars movies is a parody, but I don't know if Billy and Glenn really kind of carry the franchise. I know, but I like the idea that there's new characters. Technically, they aren't new characters. Glenn Farfinger was a character that. Glenn Farfinger was a character that I was doing a uh, oh my god, what is it, Frater? I think Glenn Farfinger may very well go back to Justin TV. I mean, time time is so irrelevant sometimes. Like at times I'll go like oh yeah, I was like doing this like for a while I was actually doing a thing called late was a it was public. I made like my local like a local lake around here, and I made that be the name of a my own like public radio. I would play music and stuff because at the time I was just listening to kind of a mishmash of music, and I just you need to understand this is before like sites like Twitch and all that. They would really enforce copyright. They did. There was actually a time when copyright was not enforced at all. And so what happened was I I it wasn't that show. I know it wasn't that show because I just used to have a call signal and stuff like that, and that would and so then so basically what happened was is that so basically what happened was is, I made this dude character, and he was supposed to be based more on like Fishfinger from Jabberwocky, and so I made Glenn Farfinger, a Minnesotan, and I like the fact that your Minnesotan accent is basically limited to what Joe Hudson and the bots did on Mystery Science Theater as far as Minnesota accents. Like you really don't really take it any further. No, I really don't know what I'm doing on that. So I just limit it to what it is. And so so basically, like yeah, so really, the whole idea was, I don't know. I mean, you need to understand. I have like a complete year before the next, basically that Farfinger show would need to debut. So I haven't even made up theme music or anything. I have stories set up. I do actually have it. But like I even have sort of a hilarious idea for Dark Milo, because the reality is this movie is the I actually destroy that character at the end. I noticed that you really destroyed his character, and a lot of times when movies decide to destroy a villain, there's usually two options. Number one, you can put him on ice. Two, you can have him be killed off, in a glorious manner and with the hero. Or three, you can just out like do character assassination and make his character so so nothing. So just nothing. He's just a loser. He's just part. He's just a pansy. He's just a patsy. He's a patsy. He's somebody else's toy. And that's basically what I did in this movie. That he actually finds out that it wasn't him that did all this. It was another guy. It was a guy who was a programmer, and he's currently on his avatar in this movie. And because the reality is, this world is actually a computer simulation, and and like right now, I'm looking on my screen, and finally, it's gotten to. I know, yeah, I noticed you're really. The one thing about Last Jedi is you really love that island. It's out in Ireland. It's like, what is it, island Scalig or something? Scalig, I think is the island. Scalig. No, I don't know if that's right. Uh, I think it is. I don't know. But basically, on the Last Jedi, the island was called Act Two, and I called it E2. E2, yeah. But I like how you took that picture and you put put a big brown monastery there. Yeah, I think what my dream is like someday. Like I imagine if I went to heaven, basically, I went to heaven, I would have an island just like that, but I would have a nice, beautiful stone monastery on top of the mountain, and so you can go in that monastery, have masses. You can have as much physical study, as humanly possible on anything you wanted. And there would be other monks, and they're doing their thing, and it would really be kind of a sweet little thing. And that's it. Uh, but the whole idea is that they all go to this island to find Frater, and they find out Frater is not in any condition to talk to anybody because he finds out a horrible, painful truth that basically nobody really exists. In that dimension, nobody. Everyone's just an NPC. And he's even looking at his old friends like they're not his friends. He really don't got friends. Nobody really does. It's because you're just a program. You're just a designed program, and and so Frater he's got this baggage on his back. His idea was that he wanted well, the people who he fought were his friends. He wants them to just basically live a good, happy life. He doesn't want them to know what he knows from Milo. He wants them to just go off into the whatever that world is and do whatever. But fortunately, he didn't know that basically the normal people who live outside the story are just these NPCs that talk backwards and have no personality. He did not know that because he was going to go and just be a monk. Of course, he would kind of go. Isn't there an issue because the other monks would have been NPCs, and that's true. Monks don't really talk. They have probably small conversations, but sometimes they have vows of silence. You know, especially for whatever duration they're in. So, really, I don't know. Frater being the way he is, with like I am, like I just wouldn't care. Like sorry, most normal people would go insane, but that's actually your environment. You're really into that. And yep. Well, I think I don't know, Gregory. Is there anything else like? Well, like I said, this is something special in our hearts. we, we, it's probably best we do a little commentary, but it may just be a waste of time because most, uh, most of the fact is that I don't know how many people, Frater, are gonna watch this, and um, you said you were able to get. You told me once you were on BitChute able to get some decent numbers or something. I when I created that second account, finally I was able to get maybe up to like 80 views or something on it, which I know still seems like a drop in the bucket, but it wasn't that bad. I thought it was better than before. I do have bad news on that front. Oh, well, here at Saderingrad Theater, we're accustomed to all manners of bad news. It just comes in all different packages, and you got this small package here that you just put to the right. No, we just got a UPS truck with a big old box of disappointment. Yeah, and so BitChute has kind of cracked down. Like I thought it was getting bad, and you have no idea. It is actually got now limits on videos. It has limits that you're only allowed 2 gigabytes of per video. Or oh no, and our videos are too damn long. They're too damn long, exactly. So you would need to figure out some way to get the data down, and you know how I am, Gregory. Yeah, you have no idea what you're doing. You've never looked into things. You don't even know where to begin on stuff like that. I know. I mean, I think at one point, well, Windows Movie Maker, because it was so good, it was so good. You could never have problems with that. But understand, I'm dealing with this program, this VSDC. VSDC has got some issues, but it's pulling it. It's pulling these things off, though. I I I, I haven't had no problems with it on that front. The problem is you notice, Gregory, that you never noticed that with the video game footage, there's no sound. Yeah, what's up with that, Frater? Like no sound at all. It's because I have to silence it because the sound is at full blast. You wouldn't be able to hear the commentary, and VSDC, like all these programs, they'll claim to be free, but the essential tools you need to adjust things, you gotta pay money for per month. Per month. Oh no. Yeah. That's the world we live in with apps. Basically, what they'll do is they'll all come out and say we're free, but the reality is they put essential tools that really shouldn't be. It's kind of scummy of them, but that's the fact. And the fact is VSDC is kind of all I got. It's literally all I got. I really don't have anything else. Um, so really, yeah, that's it. Yeah, it is. Where do you see is the future of us? Like, you see, like, just do the original Frater, and as long as everything's going good, money's good, and basically that, like when we get to once all these episodes, the first was it like 52 episodes to fill up a year. So basically, when that's done, and understand, not all the episodes are going to be the same. Some are going to be, some episodes may just be an hour, but some may be a lot longer because based on what is going on at that time of the year, like there's E3. So, what are we doing for about that? Well, basically, what is going to happen is that I found a day one E3 from 2011, and it's like 10 hours long. Oh, okay, that's not a long one, but so we probably could kind of do that in segments, you know. And who's to say we have to like do one long video? We could just I could just edit it together and make a really long video, and that would work. But YouTube is the only way we could do any of this. I hate to kind of say this, but uh, okay. Well, did you try to put the new movie on library? I mean, I know we won't support the format. Oh no, Frater. It means we're not on any alternative tech anymore. Yeah, look, I I have an AVI video. Why would it not play that? I don't know, Frater. Um, I know you're not very good at like, but here's the thing: it doesn't make sense, Gregory Peck. Like, uh, I'm I'm taking the same video and I'm putting on YouTube. What's the problem? I know it's like I don't know. I mean, I admit that none of this. I never, don't have to really do any of this really, but I do it because it's just who I am, you know. But you know, and it's weird. It's so weird to be on YouTube because I've always been someone who's like, well, look, I don't care if we have to be on a site like YouTube. We'll just do it. We'll just be in the back corner of dark web somewhere if we have to. But we're going to be free to say whatever we want or do whatever we want. The thing is really annoying, Gregory Peck, and I've been noticing this recently. Like, I'm not getting any strikes or anything. I'm not wow, you getting strikes? That's it. You know, it's the ship is starting to go down. So so basically, the thing is so annoying is uh, with YouTube is it's not that it isn't taking my stuff in. It's all coming in. It's great. It's actually the 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 platform right now could not be the most smoothest. It's very smooth. The problem is that is anything that's said in the video, it has to put up a Wikipedia entry to basically say, you know, kind of like almost like a parent comes in the room and saying, well, the flat earth is not real. Okay, folks, flat earth is not real. It's been disproven. There's been a movement of the flat earth. So now this video is going to get again going to get flagged by the freaking algorithm because I said that. Now I'm going to have a Wikipedia article. I'm going to have a Wikipedia article for Area 51 as well. I got that. Oh, come on. Yeah. And the thing is, you know what it is? It's the computer. It's not a human being. You really think a human being is watching millions and millions of hours of all these videos just to flag them in a certain way? No. I get this Wikipedia article, and it doesn't even realize the computer doesn't know I'm making fun of flat earthers. I'm making fun of them. And really, like, you've been sure changing though. You kind of say that you know that anything's up in the air. Anything's up in the air as far as the shape of the earth, but I mean, it's not like you can. There's no way you can verify what the shape of the earth is yourself. You know, all you have is satellites. You know, and I do admit a lot of footage does look CGI. It doesn't look. I don't know. It doesn't look very real. You know, but at the same time, I'm not a fan of elitism. I'm not a fan of people going out and being jerks and being pushy towards people because they're not into their stupid theory. And actually, I want to troll you if you start acting that way because you're being a bully. You'll notice a lot of the people who get into this flat earth movement are bullies. They're people who are super jocks and They they get into this thing, they get into sort of the Trump movement, and they oh yeah, they get really aggressive. Yeah, and they get aggressive, and then you're kind of like, here's your chance, your golden chance to prove that the world is wrong about something. Could you, could you, could you just be kind of reasonable and explain your theory? You know, and most of the time, these people usually just call you retarded because you think the Earth is round. You know, and it could be any kind of shape. Who knows? Because like I said, you can't self-verify the shape of the Earth yourself. So you have to come to first admit that's true. But same time, it's very that look at probably is a sphere. Okay, I'll just go out there and say it, but it isn't going to exactly destroy my world either. If I found out when I'm in heaven, oh yeah, it was flat the whole time. Okay. Okay. I mean, it's not like, oh no, no, it was flat. Like, so it's really gonna really flag this video, though. It's really gonna flag this video. It's really, but you know what's funny though? It didn't flag the Two Men in a Shed episode with the Maoist rebels. Um, it didn't flag that one because it was just silly writing on top of a Mao Zedong parade. That was hilarious. Oh, it's so funny. On YouTube, it played the other night. Because I got all the stuff scheduled out. It was so funny. Like, and you gotta realize sometimes you're promoting through Twitter, and it's like some of those people may really get upset. Yeah, because a lot of them are communists, and they don't realize the sense of humor of the whole thing. Like, look, man, Mao Zedong, his policies led to millions of people starving to death. Oh yeah, it was a really bad situation, man. So I really don't feel very like oh my poor communist friends, like I don't care about them. I mean, they're getting that upset about that. I don't care. The reality is I'm going to try to promote this stuff, and they can watch it, and they don't have to watch. Yeah, just saying is with YouTube, it's going to start flagging stuff with these Wikipedia entries. And at first, I thought it was really funny because it's like actually I was kind of on the side of the Wikipedia entry, when I mentioned the whole flat Earth thing, and then I started to get kind of annoyed about it because it was like, well, if you realize that these things are extreme parody, there's nothing serious about this at all. But because no one is manually reviewing this stuff, the computer is just all it hears is a buzzword. It has a buzzword, and it immediately it puts you down. Puts you down because basically it's saying like you can't be trusted with our platform, so we're gonna have to parent you, and we're gonna put up these little entries, and geez, so so are you, well, so what? Anything else going on? Well, I'm kind of looking at a company that can put your stuff on Blu-ray, but I don't know if that's worth it. Yeah, Frater, nobody's really interested in buying any of the Saderingrad video stuff. Like it's sad because I think you you got some kind of funny going on, and it's these characters and all that, but it's just it's weird. It's like being on an island, and you put little messages in a bottle, and you throw them out to sea, and the years go on. You don't you don't hear anything. No boats show up. No nothing. And then that's a lot like this. This house I live in. It's kind of like a little island, and And yeah, I throw once times I'll throw a little bottle out and see if someone says, "Hey, you want to go check out this thing I made?" And he just years go by, you don't hear anything, but that's the way it is, and I do these projects more for myself, and I really don't care if someone sees it or not. And well, Gregory, is there anything else? And well, not really. I mean, all I just say is I've been kind of you've been showing me little things you've been doing with the original Frater, and it's absolutely fun. I the new Frater versus Retro, like the storylines are fun, but I was limited because I didn't have the library of games like I do on the Xbox. The Xbox is absolutely crazy the amount of games I have. There would be no reason why I would subscribe to something like Game Pass at all because I got so many games. But and I have enough Xbox games where you literally you could do, and you need to understand some of these games are massive, like Dragon Age Origins and stuff. Like I think with Dragon Age Origins it will be for year two because you just need that much time possibly. So yeah, that's enough. Well, guys, see you in the new year.